Tonight, the Trump administration is facing new pressure over conditions at the Baltimore ICE detention facility. After WUSA 9's exclusive whistleblower investigation, Maryland Congressman Jamie Raskin conducted a surprise inspection. Yeah, and he says what he witnessed was, quote, extremely inhumane.
Yeah, and today 9 members of Maryland's congressional delegation joined forces to demand answers here. Our chief investigative reporter Eric Flack is here now with the latest. And Flack, we know that a human rights group also filed papers in court to force changes at this facility.
So that's a lot of moving parts with this story. The Amicus Center for Immigrant Rights filed a legal brief late this afternoon seeking a preliminary injunction, and that could force immediate changes at the facility. Now, the moves comes as members of Maryland's congressional delegation are pushing for their own reforms.
The
fallout from this viral video inside Baltimore's ICE detention facility continued Friday as 9 Democratic members of Maryland's congressional delegation sent this letter to Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem demanding answers, citing what they call deeply disturbing and inhumane conditions. The letter comes one day after Congressman Jamie Raskin conducted a surprise inspection.
It was appalling to see 55 or 60 men packed into a room the size of an average living room.
Raskin's findings mirror what a former employee described to WUSA 9 in an exclusive interview last week, the first person to work inside the facility to speak publicly.
People laying on the floor, head to toe. That reminded me of the pictures that I saw in elementary school of how they brought the slaves from Africa. I saw people laying in feces, people throwing up, people laying in urine.
The whistleblower also described witnessing a detainee placed in a restraint chair and group text messages referring to the detainees as animals in a zoo.
That's how I've seen some of the officers treat them, like they were animals in a cage at the zoo.
If there are credible reports coming out now that people are being restrained or abused in different ways, it would not surprise me.
In a statement, ICE told WUSA 9 overcrowding does not happen at the Baltimore facility and denied mistreatment of detainees, writing, ICE is committed to the safety, health, and dignity of all individuals in custody. Raskin was given access to the ICE facility after a federal court ruling stopped Secretary Noem from blocking members of Congress from conducting surprise oversight visits. Friday's letter demands ICE answer detailed questions about conditions by February 26. That includes whether female detainees have access to menstrual products, one of the key allegations from WUSA 9's whistleblower interview. The letter also demands ICE stop obstructing congressional oversight after repeatedly restricting facility access. The pressure comes as Congress faces a Friday midnight deadline to fund the Department of Homeland Security. Democrats have refused to approve funding without reforms to ICE and Customs and Border Patrol.
But the example of Minneapolis teaches us where the community rises up in opposition to inhumane and dangerous policies, that the government will have to act.
The attorney for that immigrant rights group told me they're hoping for a court decision within weeks. If the judge grants the injunction, guys, the changes would be immediate.
And Flack, really quickly, do we know how much time these detainees are spending in the cell?
At the beginning, it's supposed to be detained for 24 hours. Yeah. ICE got a waiver to take that to 72 hours. We know that those who have been inside say often detainees are there even longer than that. ICE will often blame winter weather and things like that for saying they just can't get them out. But remember, they're in those cells 24 hours a day.
No fresh air, no respite. They're stuck there in the conditions that we saw.
That's right.
Wow. All right, Eric. You know you're